Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. We are the change we want to see in the world. We are that change. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be looking at technical analysis. We take our destiny into our own hands, our diamond hands. Learning financial independence, creating self-reliance. We are the change we want to see in the world as we tune in daily to this most wonderful morning show. Friends, family, countrymen, comrades, brothers and sisters in arms, we are taking the power back. And you are going to change the world. One step at a time, one day at a time, one price level at a time. Taking out those pivots, moving up in the world. We are going to go to the moon. Whether it happens today, or it happens tomorrow, next month, next year, we're going. Have you got your ticket? Are you strapped in? Where's your helmet? I have my bananas frozen on ice. Dehydrated, put in a little sealed packet because I'm going to the moon and I'm taking the bananas with me. I'm looking forward to seeing every single last one of you with me, standing shoulder to shoulder as we create some good. Thank you for hitting like. Thank you for investing in these same stocks as each other. Thank you for educating each other, for being here for each other, and making life enjoyable every single day. That's for you. Thank you so much. And we're back. Yeah, we had a little bit of a diversion here for a second. Yes, the stream gods intervened and said, no, this man's information is too good. We cannot let him publicize it. But we're back and we are looking at the news again. It's 13 minutes after the hour. Thank you again, like I say, for joining me. Coinbase, Ross Stores, Applied Markets, Farfetch. What to watch when the stock market opens today? Well, we can get a little summary here. I can't read the full article because I'm not going to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal to do it, but it's got the main headlines in here for us anyway. US stock futures declined, pointing to losses at the end of a week of choppy trading that saw major indexes pull back from records. Let's also be aware that of the last 90 days or so, 41 of them have been all-time highs anyway as well. So yes, of course, that's going to keep happening. Here's what we're watching ahead of Friday's opening bell. Ding, ding, ding. Ross Stores posted strong results, yet its shares are fizzling pre-market, down 4.6%. I don't know what Ross Stores is, but that's the first one to check in on. Let's just do it. Let's bring it up. That's right, by the way, if anybody's asking, will you be publishing that crypto clip today? Probably not. At least I'm not going to hurry to. The interruptions frustrated me as I was making it, and I'm not in here and doing this to be frustrated. So Ross Stores currently down at 122. Yeah, totally. That's a big drop down. Bring us down below that cloud there on the 4-hour time frame. What's it look like on the 1 hour as it happens over here? That's where that last low was. We're ever so slightly higher than it. Wonder if we'll get a decent resurgence up the way. We'd be looking just 50 cents up and then $2.50 up for two profit-taking targets on that one, just to trade it within the range if we're going to have an opening range today. We have already filled in that gap in the past. Are there other gaps that we've got here? No, it looks like we're going to be making the most significant gap in the near history here today. That is an interesting one, something to be looking forward to. Will this actually therefore end on a rip after the show? Oh, actually, let's stick on some other tunes in the background. Let's go for Commercial. That's a good name for a song. Commercial. Let's go for that. Is it going to work? Investors apparently still have a taste for luxury. Online luxury fashion retailer Farfetch jumped 2.5% pre-market after it reported a 43% increase in revenue during the latest quarter. Let's see how Farfetch is getting on in the charts. Farfetch Limited. So funny, it's limited. Publicly traded company that's called Farfetch Limited. Wouldn't happen like that in the UK. Right down there at the edge of that gap. Whoa, retesting it. Whoa, that's where we've come from recently. Pre-market pushing us up a little bit. What's this say? What's this article trying to say? This is the 1 hour time frame. So let me just look at this 4 hour time frame. That's what the 4 hour looks like. What's the article saying? Still have a taste for luxury. Online fashion luxury retail jumped 2.5% pre-market after reported a 43% increase in revenue during the latest quarter. Is this the right chart? 43% increase in revenue. Okay, a 47% surprise. The revenue was increased by 43%, was it? Going right down to that gap, did it? It didn't fill in that gap, did it? There's a gap above up, is there? Pre-market's up a tiny wee bit. I don't know about that story, guys. Anyway, just kicking on with the next one. Coinbase Global. Whoa, Coinbase. Let's go look at Coin real quick. Up higher, I wonder. Okay, let's just get some more of this sort of corporate music. Soft corporate. Okay, cool. Soft corporate. The next one. Okay, Applied Materials. Applied Materials. Is that AMAT one? Applied Materials. Yeah, AMAT. What was it saying about AMAT? Dropped 1.2% pre-market, though chip-making equipment manufacturers' third quarter performance beat Wall Street projections. Drop down. These articles, by the way, just you know, the distinction that exists between the distinction that exists between my sort of enthusiasm reading those articles and then going over and looking at the price is kind of highlights why you're better off doing your own news research yourself on these things. These articles are what's happened here. Someone's taken a scanner and then just wrote on some shit based on the pre-market pricing, and like I talk about pre-market pricing as being kind of shit. It does show you where you can potentially see the price go to in terms of like willingness. It also can give you like actually making your analysis of how you're going to trade off the day off the back of the pre-market pricing in a way like that isn't necessarily all that good. But yeah, dropping a bit pre-market does give you that feeling. Here's your post-market, however, though, you know, post-market, it went up loads, it dropped down from there loads as well, so I mean, that doesn't make it onto their news article. You know, why not? Why doesn't that make it onto the news article? I don't know. Anyway, I'm done with that news article now, actually. Screw looking at the rest of the stocks, screw that, screw the Wall Street Journal, screw all of them. So, yeah, cool, nice one. Right, excellent. And got donations come in here. It was amazing. Not saying, you know, it's ridiculous. Yesterday, Bad Mama Gemma donated a big chunk of the show. Super amazing. Really, really, really beautiful. The last one, the stream that broke there, like $4 or whatever. I don't know. Not here for that. I'm not in it for the glory. I'm not in it for that. I'm in it for all of you. That's really why I'm here. So when I see those things, smiles, guys. If the music is too loud, you're too old. The music is drowning your rocky eye. So see that. They're just trying to, that's why I should feel happy when people do donations like that. They're trying to be helpful, and they are, you know, they're helping everyone. So close that shit off. Right, thanks very much. Yeah, cool. That's totally awesome. It's totally awesome. You guys helping me out like that. It's totally awesome. It's really, really awesome. I'm trying to help you. You're trying to help me. It's fucking awesome. AMAT, Applied Materials. Yeah, I've been talking about this with a couple of different people. Actually, what did the thing say about AMAT? I don't know. Anyway, I know that there's people out there that are trading this thing at the minute. I'm, you know, looking at this. I've got a couple of things on my eyes for this one. You know, this gap that we've got in here lines up with, you know, where we're finding the Ichimoku cloud, which makes a lot of sense because that's, of course, probably where the, you know, like, yep, bang on where the Bollinger Band basis line is, as you can see just there. It'd be bang on various other places, like, you know, look here, Donchian channels, not quite bang on the median line of the Donchian channels, but that's lining up right between the moving averages that I'm using on the chart and right on the Ichimoku cloud, as you would expect, especially considering that I've changed the settings on my Donchian channel to line up with the Ichimoku cloud, setting that to 26 rather than 20 that comes out the box, because that's how I roll. But you would expect that. So this is, you know, a lot of eyes being drawn to this middling price here, but 135 isn't enough to undo the kind of the annoyance for anybody that's got into this thing while it's experiencing this kind of wet. Just check here, the bearish divergence that was at the tops. Was there? Here, it's just not, it's not like super obvious, but yeah. And then this here does go up higher. Happened. It sucks that it got that didn't get to keep going at that point. It does, but you know, you would have had to have seen it like 2 candles, you know, kind of pushing up the way there. Whatever. It depends on what time frame you're on, obviously. Anyway, we want to see, can we get up the way? Because if we can push up, you know, there's targets up above 160, etc. That is all totally possible and achievable. But we're in an area that's come on from after an extended run up the way, as you can see just there. An extended run up the way. Then we've had a period of sideways price action. Now, this sideways price action has also been fairly extended, coming in from April all the way to the side. But it's had a huge range on it, with highs up there at 145 and lows down there at 116. So you're talking about a big, you know, 30% chunk. Not like the SPY where it might go down like that and then up again or whatever. This has been operating within that range, doing it again and again. Can we get halfway up towards that? Sure we can. Can we get the whole way up towards it? Yeah, we can. But we do want it. But we're now at the point here where we can see that the 50 simple and 200 simple are about to cross over. Failure to really take out that zone at 135 on Applied Materials, AMAT. So funny, I have to check. I don't even really know what I'm talking about at any given time. Because like I said in yesterday's episode, our job is the buying and selling of risk. I'm looking at risk here. It's got a name. The name happens to be Applied Materials in this case. But I'm looking at risk, buying and selling risk. And here at that 50% area, you can see that the risk is kind of there. If we don't push past, then it looks really kind of like, you know, you'd be looking for it to kind of turn around and roll over at that point. So kind of, you know, that's just a feeling though. That's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. But this sort of curve, I would never do something like this, but I want to kind of show something to people. Where's my curve thing? Never ever would ever do something like this. But I want to show people. You can't even do something. Oh, you can, right? Yeah, that's it. Never ever would ever do something like this, because it's kind of stupid and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's true though. You can see the overall kind of rolling over nature of the lows over here. Taking out those putting in a lower low at any given stage is going to make me feel quite negative on this one in terms of the potential for a pullback to a number, like one of those numbers being something like, you know, 116 all over again, where we had that previous low, you know. And given that we're in here at 129, whatever, that's you know where it could go down to. That would be the next buy price if you've not bought it already, which is what the specific person that I'm talking to that I spoke to yesterday about this already knows as well, you know. Beyond that zone, then it's just not good, you know. You're looking down to $100 probably, etc. And that's another 15% off, etc., etc. So yeah, anyway, anyway, that's enough of that one. So let's bring up the GME charts and kind of check in with the chat and see how you're all getting on, because the charts are going to open, the thing's going to open up in 5 minutes. Thing's going to open up in 5 minutes. Do I just do it? Do I just do it? Do I just do a cryptocurrency thing for like 2 minutes? Do I just do it? I was going on too much in the last one. Off to work, a day off, overtime for more tendies. I'll be lurking as well. That's cool, Corey. That's good that you're doing that. Right, Kim Robbins, by the way, I'm here watching because I missed yesterday while we were driving. Ah, Kim, that's cool. That's cool. Awesome. Good to see you out there, Katie Babes. Good to see you, Chris Sweeney. Good to see you, Marmar. Yay! Thank you for this. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I could see you're seeing that you're actually here and all that, and whatever. We could talk about it a bit more, but we know, you know, let's just go down to this lower term time frame. We know that what we're looking at here is a few things, right? Where's my drawing tool here? We know that we're looking at that low, and that low, that high, and that high so far, and that all of them are descending down the way. But we also know that we've got this bullish divergence here on the RSI. We've got bullish divergence on the what's it called here? The stochastics, and we've got this sort of Rick and Morty lip effort here on the DMI here on the 1 hour time frame. So we were looking at this yesterday on the 4 hour and the daily, and we didn't go down as low as the 1 hour because we were looking, you know, just to try and find the general thrust of trend. But here in this region, we're seeing that we've got that. It's kind of just waiting. These things so often kind of fail in a sense, but we're in chop territory, obviously. So you know, having stroked down there. Get your sentences out, Rocky. Look, if we'd actually do take out these highs here in the 1 hour time frame, then we're taking out the 50 simple moving average. We're moving up towards that 135 area. That looks pretty good, pretty solid, feels good. We'll cover in that gap that we're talking about, and all of that seems like the next likely play, like we were talking about, given that we've got this bullish divergence, etc., with these lows. I haven't pushed up above it yet. We can see that there's this kind of this sort of little edge here in the stochastics where we've got that you know, well, quite clearly the stochastics is showing us that there's a triangle here. So while we've got a triangle here and the prices themselves, and I hate the magnet tool, and I'm trying to do things like the magnet tool is like not useful all the time unless you're using Fibonacci, in my personal opinion. And because I use Fibonacci so goddamn much, I have it on, but I hate the thing. So, you know, you get your measured move of this thing, and it can take us up towards the 618, and then we're in different kind of conditions. We're in different kind of conditions, operating above the cloud, operating above these moving averages, and then you get the feeling of like, right, okay, so now if we put in a higher low at any given stage, you don't have to panic so much. Then it's a BTFD opportunity. Up until then, you know, none of this, when you're in a trending market, when things are trending towards the downside, there isn't it's only like, it's only sort of lunatics that would be going on about buy the dip but that's cool because we're all lunatics over here on GME. Right, so BTFD MFs, am I right? I've got oh, that's the market's open, or listening for the market, for the bells outside. It's so good that the bells outside do actually coincide for me, the bells from the church, with the markets opening. There we have it. Right, so they more or less coincide with it, more or less. Here we have it, and we're open. No gap there in the 1 hour time frame, 50-minute time frame. No gap over here as well. AMC, just checking here for the gaps, etc. Bring up this chart full screen. Yep, gap, no gap. Done, right? Cool, done. What was the other things that we were looking at? Where's that crap article, in fact? So let's just see, how did we get on with these things? AMAT, that was one of the ones that was supposed to have in a gap. Let's see. Ooh, imagined. So we are starting to do this sort of thing. We obviously need to take out these price points. Well, the significance are, this is where we're going. You were right in your analysis yesterday, Marmar. So that's good to know. But of course, your analysis only takes us so far, and I'm with you on that, and that's cool, right? Daniel Assange, you dropped a $5 in the chat. That's really appreciated. Thanks very much, my good friend. So what am I looking for here? Yeah, the other charts that they were saying were pre-market crap. Ross Stores. Let's see how Ross Stores. No. It was the luxury one. The luxury one I wanted to see. Have they changed this article? Foot Locker, Ross Stores, Coinbase, Metamaterials. Where's the people still wanting luxury? Foot Locker, Ross Stores, Applied Materials. What's going on here? This article's different. 2 minutes. What? What? Where's Farfetch? I looked at, there was, Mudrick Capital Acquisition Corp. Mudrick again. Those fannies, they're so crap. Mudrick are. They're such idiots. Anyway, what was I? Yeah. Well, anyway, Farfetch. People are still looking for luxury. Something blah 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 blah. Farfetch. You remember we talked about this. Farfetch Limited. Is this the Mandela effect? Is that what people talk about? Something just happened here. Anyway, yeah, it's doing crap. It's done crap. Did they just delete that because... What's going on with that? Am I just being blind? Oh. Oh, there you go. There you go, eh? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. That's weird. That is weird. Quick poll. Am I crazy or did that happen? And the answers can be, yeah, they edited it, and it's cause it was crap. You're crazy. Right, there we go. There's my questions. There's another quick poll. Good to see you, Minner. Good morning and happy Friday, my friends. Yes. Good to see you, Electro Boy, Katie, TradeSpot, and Corey, everybody else out there. There's a quick poll in there. I actually don't really mind, you know, just putting that in for fun. You can answer whatever way you like. If you just want to call me crazy, you can do that. I'll not take offense. So yeah, doesn't look like, it doesn't look crap. But did it fill in this gap? No, it didn't fill in the gap, and it's only like 50 cents away from filling in the gap. So why would it not want to just fill in the gap while it's here? Just like, you know, just now in that sense. Why not? I mean, it's come all the way down here, hasn't it? And investors haven't had an appetite for this for quite some time. For they've been shorting this and dumping this for quite a while now, since dumping it down. So they don't actually still have an appetite for that. So do you think they just edited that sentence because it was really stupid and crap? Do you think that's why they did it? I think that's maybe why. That might be the answer to that one. So anyway, how's things getting on then here? GME over there 155.41. Excellent. Yep. That price then, 150, was the buy price for the day. I mean, if anybody's going to ask me what the best buy prices for the day are, so long as, you know, like, so I don't know, like, what do you want me to tell you? 155, 150. If we're above 160, then the best buy price will just say 155. And if we're above 165, then I'll say the best buy price is 160 until such times as something different actually happens. You'll notice that this, by the way, does not comply with the sort of Elliott wave type structure. If you're looking at Elliott wave stuff, you've got wave 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Elliott waves doesn't account for everything all the time because it can't, because it wasn't designed for that, and people have just abused the system by trying to teach other people that's what it's for. Anyway, when it isn't, not really. I'm curious about that. We are filling that gap in. It's happening, isn't it? Yeah, we've just filled it in. Well done, Wall Street Journal. You're really good at your job. Love the articles. Love the analysis. Thanks so much for that. Really good quality stuff. AMD. Let's take a look at AMD. Nobody's asked me to take a look at that in ages. Woof, right down to here. Is it going to be able to survive out of that? Well, tell you what. No. Oh, look at that. Is this? Did I get a completely bad move here? Is that what happened? Or did I talk about? No, did I talk about two alternative trades here? Was this me talking about two alternative trades? It was, wasn't it? This was just saying this would be your long here, and that would be your short. And the short was obviously not what we were taking in that one. It's nice enough. That's good. It's good to audit my own TA. Obviously, as well, by the way, just so you know that I'm not being an ass here, I would have been talking about how this would be the two plays that you'd have had. Had you been like taking out this here, then you'd have almost regretted not taking that short. But this is where it is, and it'd be up to you to decide. And it'd be like what what you think is going to happen from the analysis, you know, all that sort of stuff. And that was that move there was a risk reward of 3.21. That's because, you know, I talk to Jamie about this all the time, and he's like, you can't keep telling people 5 to 1 on your channel, man. Anyway, that would have been what? Had you gone all the way up as high as this? This would be the 1618 Fibonacci retracement point. We'll look at that in a second. That would have been a risk to reward of 17, not bad. Taking a Fibonacci, go from the high to the low down here, and see where the high was. Oh, look at that. That was a 1618 Fibonacci retracement point, was it? Weird. What? That happened. That's so weird. Why would that be the case? That's fucked. Why would anybody do that? Give me the thing. What are the fundamentals? Why would let's look up the fundamentals. AMD fundamentals. Let's look up the fundamentals. Oh, let me get back to a world where things make sense again. Let me get back to somewhere where I can understand what's going on. Fundamentals of thank goodness for chartmill.com. These guys, they'll help me. They'll help me understand what with all this completely random noise. This random noise here is so like crazy. Why would anybody say that technical analysis works? That's fucked. Anyway, back over here where things make sense again. Green boxes. AMD's return on assets is 31.14%. That makes me feel good about investing. AMD's profit margin of 25%. That makes me feel good. Oh, it's among the best returns of the industry. Yeah, that's good. Green boxes. AMD's return on equity is 48%. That's good. Green boxes. AMD outperforms 91% of its industry peers. Oh, wow. This is great. Green boxes. Oh, red boxes. Worry. A price earnings ratio of 49.86. It could be considered very expensive at the moment compared to the average industry price earnings ratio of 25.25. It's slightly more expensive. Oh, red boxes. With a forward price earnings ratio of 37.95, it's valued very expensive. Oh, red boxes. When comparing the price to the book and value of AMD, we can conclude it's valued rather expensively. Oh, it's red boxes. Don't like those. Don't like those. Oh, though, but earnings per share has grown by an impressive 141.86% over the past year. Oh, good. Green boxes. Green boxes. Measured over the past 5 years, AMD shows very strong growth in earnings per share. Using things that I like. 5-year trend analysis. Yes, that's the world that I operate in. This random at all ever has ever benefited from this. Nope. No. Instead, what you need to do is an investment strategy like Warren Buffett's, where just every so often you'll experience 50 to 80% drawdown in your account. You just hold on to it and intend on getting older. That's right. Warren Buffett's investment strategy. What is it? That is, of course, grow older. That is Warren Buffett's investment strategy. It's a 2-word strategy. Grow, big word in investment. That's really important. And older. That's his investment strategy. Green boxes. Yes, they're good. It's fundamental. It's fundamentally good. It's fundamentally good. Right, good. Okay, they edited it because it's crap. The results are in. Thanks very much for that. End poll. Some people did think I was crazy, but of course the general consensus is they edited it because they're crap. Oh, Spork, you're colorblind? Darn. Well, I guess you can't do fundamental analysis then, mate. If you're colorblind, you can't do the fundamental analysis. Better stick into the technicals. Hope you can see my chart okay. Nobody can. That's a good joke, isn't it, Rocky? Look at that chart you got there. Anyway, how are we getting on AMC land? Over in the movie theaters, 33.60. So they're in that sort of 33.63. Yeah, right. Staying above that 33 number today is nice. That would be a nice higher low. This is like in terms of that orange line, by the way, this orange line here is to do with this phase in the market. Is to do with this phase in the market is like this orange line here, and if this orange line isn't respected, then the worry is that this phase in the market becomes something like that instead. That's what the worry is, by the way. That's what that's for. But in terms of like this phase in the market, this orange line isn't necessarily going to determine where any higher low could come in at. If you were looking for that, you'd be looking down to this line just here. That's this price point just here, right? So that's 32. That's 32. You'd be looking just down there. Now, obviously, it takes me 2.5 hours and a hell of a lot of words to get through all of the analysis that I do on a daily basis here in the show. So not everything fits into every single segment, but that would be something which I think is maybe being implicitly implied with this analysis recently. And I can show you for one of the reasons why that would be the case. Well, we have a Fibonacci drawn in from these lows up to those highs, and that then of course is what gives you that region just in around about here. So we could wick down a little bit more and push on down. If we go in for a 786 retrace, which could be fairly typical, then you'd be looking at the price point of the day. And that's my mum just sent me a message as well. Well, there you go. I'd be tempted to turn my phone off, but I can't actually do that because then my internet would go away. Funny conflicts. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at on that one. And if we went for a 786, looking at here as well, what is that? What is that? What is that? What is it? It might be worth pointing out that there's the potential here for us to be considering some sort of a harmonic pattern. I'm not going to get into it today because I prefer, to be perfectly frank with you, to look up the numbers on the harmonics to make sure that I'm not screwing things around too much here. I'm wondering with this one, nope, that's extreme, that's extreme, that's extreme, but then there's this. That's the thing. That's this one. Has that got the low over here properly? Yeah, I'm wondering if that was like that. Anyway, if that was like a sort of essentially a bearish Gartley or whatever, you'd be looking for these same targets anyway. Huh, Scott Carney, you only took me so far. Yeah, I know. But we did the 886 Fibonacci retracement point there as well with regards to this one, and we've come down for deep retracements ever since. I'm kind of looking at this again and thinking, how would it pan out? How would it pan out if we were to go down for one of these deeper retraces? And it starts, and if I think about the 786 to the 886 region, then it makes me want to think about harmonics, because that's where this little sperm dude can be at. Because Scott Carney has this section in his book where he's all like, I was studying Gartley, and it was amazing, and they was doing all this, and it was amazing. 18, and that 886 is the square root of the 786, and I was like, oh my god, really? Is that really what it is? And he's like, yeah, these are sometimes typical deep retraces that you can have on markets. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? That's amazing. And then I wrote a book about it, and then I got famous about it. And everything, and I owe so much to that guy in my kitchen that told me about that one time, because otherwise I'd not be here. Which, when I read that, I thought, obviously that's not what the book actually said. Just taking the piss. Sorry, by the way, as well, sometimes, obviously this is a show for like everybody, it's totally exclusive, but I sometimes go off on esoteric kind of chats. I've been sort of at this gig for quite a while would ever get, and then also you'd have had to be in it quite a bit longer probably as well for you to have the tolerance for me to make that joke and not think that I'm being an ignorant idiot. Laggy stream, is it a laggy stream? What about if I chuck my phone from here to there? Let's see if that makes the stream any better. Right, anyway, what time are we at the minute? 45 minutes past the hour. We've got 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes of price action so far. AMC still above. AMC still above 33, which is what we want to see. But obviously, as well, we're happy to see it go down to 32 and find a bounce at 618 if that's where it needs to find a higher low. We're happy enough to see it go down to the 786. I don't like it going down to the 886. If it closed down at 29, then obviously we're screwed. But we're this is the start. Low, high, higher low, higher high, looking for a higher low. It's coming towards the end of the week. Sets us up for a fairly positive start to next week. This is what's happened so far. I'll just get rid of this. Get rid of this one. Yeah, this arrow is what's happened so far. So will it keep happening? Who knows? Who knows what I'm saying? Well, yeah, that's likely. How are you all getting on in the chat there? TradeSpawn says, Rock Outcrop, can you still change the indicators so they are still friendly to people? Can you still change the indicators so they are still friendly to people who are colorblind as you often used to? Yes, I can. But I'm going to have to program out a MACD because let me just double check this style. Yeah. It doesn't give me the option on the standard out of the box MACD to change the color on that to be red from red and green. But I'll certainly adjust these. I've been asking people. I mean, I know that I could Google it. Fuck it, I'll just Google it. I've been asking colorblind people to get in touch with me. I kind of thought it'd be cool to do it, like be able to say somebody's name. Colorblind hex code alternative. Let's see. I'll just look it up myself and do it. I think it's a good suggestion. Do-do-boo-boo-boo. Wow. Okay, so that's loaded up super quickly as well. Excellent. Nice to see everybody. Big whoopsies. Probably all the love, guys. Videos getting uploaded. Haha. Yeah, that's what it is, man. That is. I'm not joking. That you're joking. But it's true. You know, it's true. Right. Where's our color? You're gonna give me hex codes. What are the hex RGB codes for this color scheme? What's this color scheme even mean? Spending per student. Wait, red green variation. Right. That's crap. But this is better. This is better. This is better. So, there. Right. So we can make things this. Is that right? Or are these crap? Sorry, I would need to read this. I would need to read this to actually know. Print result on Google, that's more helpful. Because I'm not colorblind, I'm just long text blind. Right, so posted Twitter, popular Twitter, hex codes, perhaps most importantly the typo and hex codes. Colors on the left are alternatives to default green. The colors on the right, alternatives to default red. The bottom pairing switches to be a red positive color based on the metaphor of red. Hot, good, blue, cold, bad. Oh, God, you need to read and understand stuff again. Doing this during a live stream is not ideal. Macular degeneration. That sucks. My aunt had that. Oh, you've done it like that, have you? Using an image. Oh, you're so great. You're so great. You're so brilliant. Thanks for that. That's fantastic. Super good job you're doing, Google, with the top ones for people like myself. You know what? Actually, tell you what. Sorry, guys. Sorry, colorblind people. I will absolutely do that. I just encourage you to get in touch with me and offer me some hex codes that you like, and then we can do it. I'll take them from the eyes of somebody who's colorblind. Tell me what kind of greens you'd like. I'd like 2 greens, obviously for the hex for the histogram up here. I'd like a green and a red for the accumulation distribution. I'd like a green and some colors for my and 2 colors, a good and negative color, a green. Or no, sorry, I'd need a color for the RSI and then 2 colors for the moving average part of it, a good and a negative color, and then 3 colors for the at least for the DMI, but I want to have 3 colors for the ADX line on itself. I need to have a middling, good, and shitty color. The white hot area can just be white. You know, so you get the point. I need those colors. If anybody can help me with that, and of course, if it turns out these are just fine, then these are just fine, right? Okay, cool. Kitty Babe says you wouldn't smoke a cig during a stream, so don't vape. You're just taking more nicotine than you would have if you had a butt. You know, you're so right, and I wouldn't, and that's a good tip. Thanks so much. Tell you what, by the way, really, that's really good. That's really good. Thanks for that. It's the same thing. It's like it's exactly it. It's like these are the sorts of things that I don't know, which Shake Your Booty was being really, really helpful with telling me about. So thanks for that. Yeah, good one. Nice one. Nice one. I guess it's just because I was frustrated there. It's 10 to 3. It's 50 minutes after the hour. 33.71 on AMC. Let's see how that big gap on metamaterials is going, because that's the more exciting chart for the day, as it has lost a lot of that luster. It hasn't actually taken out that bloody gap. It's moved back out. But what we can see here is done a retest. Like when I say what we can see here, I appreciate that it's pretty hard to see. This sloppy lower line and this really sloppy upward sloping downward line, they're trying to form a wedge around that price action. The red candle here, where we gapped up at the start of the day, come back down, filled in the gap, retested the wedge, so it's a retest of a breakout. So if you've ever seen a video on TradeSpotting's channel about buying breakouts, then you would know about that, or how to trade breakouts. Let me just go to TradeSpotting's channel so I can show you. Oh yes! Oh yeah! Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes, Jimmy! YouTube kicking in again here. Check it out, man. TradeSpotting rant, TradeSpotting AMC, TradeSpotter. That's shout out to Andy Lee. TradeSpotting speech, TradeSpotting Reasonableland, TradeSpotting Moas, TradeSpotting Rocky. Way! Hey! Nice one, shout out me. TradeSpotting Hype, TradeSpotting and Jackson, TradeSpotting Stocks, TradeSpotting GME Stock. Wow! Brilliant. Super happy for you, man. Rocky Outcrop. Let's just see. Whoop whoop! Rocky Outcrop, GME, AMC, Live, Houston Wade, DMI, YouTube, Discord. Oh wow, there's actually what people are searching for that. That's cool. Found on Dartmoor. Now that's cool. Where was I on Dartmoor? Interesting. Pre-done and sawn over the Rocky Outcrop of Hound Tor on Dartmoor, Devon, UK. Wow. Wow, wow, look at all these, look at my brothers and my sisters out here. Wow, wow, how are you doing, guys? Anyway, TradeSpotter. So he has a video. Now, am I going to be able to find it dead easy on his channel or not? I wonder, because he's got so much more content now than he used to have. But I would recognize the, dang, there it is.
So you want to be a breakout trader. You want a Lamborghini, sipping martinis, looking hot in a bikini. But all you seem to do is lose money. To know once and for all the best place to enter, where to place a stop, and how to bank those big, beautiful breakout bucks, then hold the phone, you're in the right place.
Smash the like button. Smash that like button. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button.
Chances are, the timing of your entries is leaving your stop loss vulnerable. We're going to fix that right now here on TradeSpotting, where hopes and dreams meet ends and means. Big accounts need their orders filled.
Really good video. This one explains the retest of the breakout. At some point during the video, absolutely does say about the retest.
Diagonal breakouts are worth trading. Price is in an uptrend on, say, the 4 hour.
And I highly recommend that you go watch it. In fact, I might even stick it on as a segment, so I'll leave that screen open. But there was something that I was intending on doing myself, and that was showing you that video from Bitcoin. And I've got 5 minutes till 3. At the top of the hour, we'll get back round and we'll talk about this piece of news, which I think is pretty cool. The Wall Street Journal is talking about Wall Street Journal better at writing stories than they are at writing stock analysis. Amazon plans to open large retail locations akin to department stores. I thought I would talk about that for a wee while. We'll do that at 3 o'clock. But I've got my own little thing I wanted to put on just for a second here and show people what analysis, like how to interpret analysis sometimes, you know, just like a little section for that. Where's my crud. Where's the video? No wait, where's the video? If I search Rocky Outcrop cheat sheet, did I call it cheat sheet or is that just the thumbnail? Yeah, that's just a thumbnail. Sugar. Right, I want to get that video, so I'm going to go get it. Boop, 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 bam, ba-dam. Good morning, turnips. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us crazies every morning. Yeah, thanks so much. Just care about him and trying to help. I come from a place of love, always. I have my own vices, everyone does. Katie Babes, you're totally fine, by the way. You're totally fine. I would encourage anybody that has any issue with anybody in here to come to me first rather than going to anybody else if there is anybody, just so everybody knows. Now I don't know if there is one or not. I just read that and I see that you're totally fine and there's not a single problem at all. So just so you know. I'm trying to get this video. I know it. How to trade Bitcoin in the 50k price range, profitable trade setups. That's what I called the video. That's how you customize your YouTube page. Not so great. Let's just see. There's the video there. Let's go look at it on YouTube. Randy says, I'm on the disc golf course walking into trees to... So, this is a 3 minute and 39 long video. We've got about 3 minutes-ish until the top of the hour. And we're just going to look at this real quick. And then we're going to look back at what actually happened on the price action after this. So you can see how I talk about things. I mean, and this is not... I didn't specifically take this video. The reason why I found this video to put on as the channel one was because last night I was going into my members-only videos and making them public so that people who cannot afford or do not want to for whatever reason, etc., and all the rest of it can get access to my YouTube membership videos for a wee while. Because I thought it would be a nice thing to do after Bad Mama Jam had been so generous to me yesterday to give back to the community. I didn't advertise it, but if you go check out my channel, you'll see that all of my previous members-only videos for education are now available to be watched by everybody. And I think I'll leave them that way until the end of the month. So people know. And this was in there as a members only video. It was filmed during a live stream, but I made it for members only just to see how that would go. So we got 64 views, and I wrote and it's also kind of cool because I wrote closed captions for it and everything like that, so everybody should be able to read along and watch along and everything else, and we'll see how this goes, right? So the time on this one, by the way, is the 3rd of May, so we'll just bring up the Bitcoin chart so we can see USDT, the 3rd of May, right? So 3rd of Mayo, up in this region. 3rd of May. 1, 2, 3. There's the 3rd of May there. So let me just get the replay tool out and plop that on there. Is that right? That was the 2nd of May. Damn. There we go. There's the 3rd of May. And here's the video. Let me see. Where is it? Here we go. Randy says, I'm on the disc golf course walking into trees to watch. Wow, nice one. I hope you're having a good time out there. It's actually raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring, it's all cats and dogs here where I am. Right, cool, excellent. So this is the Bitcoin summary. Hi friends, Bitcoin summary. Hitting the like button really is appreciated. We're looking at the charts here and we're saying that this low that we had recently, in terms of the RSI, could be indicating to us that we've got hidden bullish divergence. So this low that we had recently, in terms of the RSI, could be indicating to us that we've got hidden bullish divergence. Where was that low? So my charts are different to Rocky's charts. '24-hour time frame, that was the low on the 25th of April. 25th of April was that low, just was this low over here. Oh, I'm not on the 24-hour time frame. That's what's confusing me. That's why my charts look different. So there we go. So you're trying to interpret a Rocky video. Even Rocky himself will be like, oh, what was that chart, right? So here we have it. That's that low down there. And I was thinking in terms of RSI, that could be showing us that we maybe have some hidden bullish divergence. Yeah, that was right. That's right. Cool. Excellent. Nice one. Overall, if we're looking at this on the MACD and making the same sort of assertion when we look between the last two significant lows, of course casting our eye past this key structural support that we did push down past in order to put it in, that form key structural support that we pushed down past to put that in. This was obviously as well forming part of a wedge at the time in sort of my own analysis, and we did take that out as that fake out territory to come in for this extra low, but it didn't actually come in lower than that low like Rocky says, so it has got that hidden bullish divergence aspect to it, but nevertheless that's a key structural support area. Perhaps maybe this overall area, perhaps having pushed down past that key area, maybe this isn't so good overall, and from a bullish point of view because we're below key structural support. Nevertheless, we've got some hidden bullish divergence. So that's the story so far as well on that one, right?
Here's the question for us: if we can push up the way, we could capitalize off that and go for higher targets. If we actually don't manage to take the benefit from that, then what we're looking at is having put in that low, which could of course lead to lower lows and lower.
Right, so if we don't actually take out these higher targets that we have in mind, then we could, if we don't take out these higher targets we've got in mind, then we could go into something that leads to lower lows and lower highs. So that's interesting as well, following on from noting that key support there.
Lower highs, and if this forms that lower high right now, then what are our targets down below? If we push past this key area that I'm looking at right here, right now, then what's our targets up above, and where is the best entry for us in terms of just the medium case scenario, somewhere between the two. Let's do this. Let's fall in love. By the way, if you want to hit that like button, really appreciate it. This is the chart here. You can see just here for you that the Bitcoin price action, we had this move on the go. That was from the previous show. Of course, that's worked out very, very well. But that means what's happening up at this stage. And for a lot of people, let's be frank, they are, of course, taking profit having come in here and seen the prices go up 10%. Common enough area to see that happen at. Therefore, we can be looking back down towards that 52.5 or 54.5 as those good entry points.
Right, so we've seen prices come up towards this region. We already had a good trading move that brought us up here. That's pretty cool. And profit taking was happening. We could be looking now for good entries down sort of 52,500 region maybe. Oh, that's cool. That lines up with where my wedge that I actually have drawn in here somehow magically completely predicting the future. It's funny. It's funny how the drawings don't get removed when you go back in time. Anyway, this whatever. Let me just hide the drawings. In fact. Oh yeah, okay, oh right, that ties in. Oh, that ties in with the Ichimoku cloud as it happens here on this chart at this point here, around about 52,500 or so. But Rocky said 54, so maybe somewhere between 52.5 and 54. Maybe it wasn't quite as low as that. I don't know. We'll have to see how things go in a minute when we come back to doing this.
But if you were to enter from this region right here, right now, how would you be managing your risk? And it's probably operating something along these sorts of lines where you're asking the question about if we push down past this zone here at the 56,000 area, would you be holding?
Right, so Rocky's actually talking about 56,600 there. Where is that? Oh, that's right here at this area. Oh, it's actually even a bit higher. If we push down past 56,600, Rocky would no longer be holding on to longs, and instead he's looking for something around about 52 to 54,000. Right, okay, cool.
On to any longs at that point or not. Given
right.
that 54,500 or 55 area is going to be your next pit stop after that. If we just push down past this region, that's why it's very clearly marked on, and this of course would be a much better buy price in around 52. Wouldn't it?
Probably, Rocky, you're probably right. That would be a better buy price around about 52. But, it really depends on the targets, I suppose, if that's the case.
But we'd have to acknowledge at that stage that this would be a sort of consolidation within a range with highs up here, which are maybe outside the standard deviation, lows, which we would hope are outside of that standard deviation.
Oh, that's an interesting inflection you just put on your voice there, Rocky. You said that there were highs out there that were outside of the standard deviation. Let's just look back again at that again. Yeah, you thought in this moment here there were highs that are outside of the standard deviation, and that was a given. That was a given that's where they were. That was a given. It sounded like you were talking about that like a given, right? But then there was this one down here, and there were lows that are outside the standard deviation that you really just hope. And what do you mean in there? You're trying to say that they're just anomalous lows that pushed a little bit further than you would have wanted them to, and you're just hoping that that's the case. Whereas up here, you're totally accepting of the fact that they pushed higher than you would have wanted to, and you're just going to dismiss it. Is that really what you're saying there? That's interesting. That's interesting that you're putting so much extra emphasis on that tonally, even just as you're talking.
Overall, where am I looking for in the meantime, and where have we come from? And this is important to acknowledge right here, right now, that in the
something important to acknowledge.
This whole entire glut of liquidity area.
Oh, there's a glut of liquidity here
that we've been oscillating around at recently. We have got, of course, the 618 golden pocket, and then down below us the 50% area. 56,000, of course, being that cutoff point then for your low.
56,000. He said it a few times.
Meaning that you would be, if you did push down past that area, taking out the 236 on the Fibonacci if you drew it in from the most recent lows up to the highs, as you can see.
Well, that's good confirmation on that one, indeed. You would be looking down there then in that
See
sense.
quite clearly there with that one I drew on.
I agree.
The higher targets up the way, if we do push past this 618, could be looking at the 786, etc. 60,000 round number.
60,000 round number, right? 60,000 round number is our higher target. If we drop down below 56, then we're buying in at 50, somewhere between 52 and 54. Let's call it 53, and we're aiming for 60,000. Yeah, and also Rocky's right. Trading between 57,000 as a target of 60,000 is really crap. It's like a 5% move compared to the 10% move that you'd be getting, plus more than 10%. Wow, 12% move, something like that. If you go in at 53 and you're getting that 7,000 move up the way, yeah, is that 15%? Yeah, you get 15% move as opposed to like a 5% move. Wow, that's 3 times better if we see the prices dropping below 56,000 in the meantime. So, wow, that's really interesting, Rocky. Wow, that's so fucking dense as well. How did you manage? We're only 3 minutes into this video and you've explained so much already, the entire thing. It's amazing. What else? What else could you possibly go on to say at this point? What else could you possibly go on to say at this point that would enhance my trading? What else? What else?
Place to be looking to, it would still be a lower high. You wouldn't be breaking any sort of downward market structure which is being formed currently. But I would
What? Wait, sorry. It would still be a lower high. We wouldn't be breaking any downward market structure which is being formed currently. Wow, that's amazing.
Say that your target towards the top side, if you are looking at continuation to the overall macro trend.
If you're looking at that, if that's what you're looking at, then that's where you're looking at. Fair enough, right? Fair enough. If that's what you're doing, fair enough.
Takes us in as high as 76,000, 75,000, really, you know, and I'm targeting 69,420.
Couldn't let that one go. 69,420. Yeah, I mean, I think we all were, right? We all were, eh? That's a joke. Well, that's called, by the way.
On that one. Hope you liked what you saw in that section.
I liked it.
Actually moving on to take a look at Ripple right this second. If you want, you can of course suggest.
Wow! That's amazing. I wonder if there's any other hidden gems in this thing. Just looking down here at the description of it and thinking about, you know, where did I mention 20 at any point? Did I mention 20 or anything? Did I mention where we'd be going down if we went any longer? At this buy price, pick the last. This is. Oh, he actually wrote a transcript in for his entire episode here. That's mental. That's mental on that one. 52 things, 28, 50. No, it seems things. But I don't. I thought I had maybe written in. I thought I'd maybe told people at that one. Must have been in other episodes around about it when I was talking about 27,000, 30,000. I guess I couldn't fit anything much more into that 3,000 into that 3-minute video while I explained the market structure. But let's go and look now, because we're back in time at this point and we're thinking to ourselves, how will this go? Okay then, so the next couple of candles, what happened here? Fuck me, what are you talking about? We actually pivoted here at 56,000 and dropped right the way down to 53,000. Oh, that's pretty neat. Let's just then imagine that we had actually put in a move here. Now we're targeting 60,000. Wouldn't that be mental? Wouldn't that be mental if we just did exactly what Rocky told us to do? Wouldn't it be mental? What? Hey, we're back where we left off. That's not so bad. We could probably stick a stop loss on at this point and take profits or whatever. What's going on over here? What's going on over here? Well, that's 58,862. I'm having to be fairly patient over here for us to get what's going. Whoa, we've gone away off. How high did we get to in the end? How high did we get? $59,500. 59,500. So we went down to 53,000. Then we went up to 59,000. Then we dropped down again thereafter, having gone back down to this prior low. That's mental. What would that then happen then? Does this actually come in with any other? What? We put in a lower low at this point? Holy shit. Is this actually happening? What he said? Is actually what he said happening? Is his other video? Oh my god. Oh my god, it happened exactly that in that 3-minute section. What the fuck? What did he call that video again? What did he call it? How to trade Bitcoin in this 50,000 plus price range. Oh right, let's just look back again. Where was the cutoff point on this thing? Let's just look over here. Oh aye, 50,000. 50,000. That's mental. That's mental that the exact price point where you would say that the entire market dynamic changed between what phases you were trading in this thing was in the very fucking title of the video as well. That's amazing, isn't it? That's every single show. That's every single show that I do. In every single thing that I analyze, apart from when I'm getting a bit meta on it and I'm doing like this sort of a thing. When somebody asks me to take a look at something, that's what happens all the time. All the time. Constantly. Constantly what happens. Anyway, that took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but I think that it's probably fairly good to give people a wee lesson so that you can hear that, so that you can hear it. So that you can hear it. And how about we just, I mean, like, we can audit myself. We can audit myself happily. Let's go and audit myself. Let's go and audit myself happily. Cryptocurrency technical analysis. Bitcoin. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Let's go take a Bitcoin video from 3 months ago. Here's one from 3 months ago. Okay, cool. 3 months ago. Do we want to do it again? Do we want to do it again, or can we take it? Can we take it on faith? At this stage, that at this point here, that when I make these things, and I actually make a little joke here, it's quite funny. I go,
it wasn't
zing
from their computer or whatever to get back to it to watch the show. You know,
is it possible?
Get the prices up above the 58k region then, and confirming up above there, etc. Then.
Oh, this is the same sort of time. This is some sort of time. We didn't confirm up above 58k. Oh, wait a minute. This is May the 7th. May the 7th. What was that other one? May the 3rd. So this is afterwards. This is afterwards. Why am I not sat there just gloating about how we already got a 15% move and we don't need to do any more trading at all on this thing and just be like, wait a minute, how many views did this get? 91 views. Oh, wow. So does short videos that are consumable make it so that they're... No. Does the thumbnail and title in that matter? Not for me. Does the quality of the content and the ability of people to make money matter? Not so much. Doesn't seem to matter. Doesn't seem to matter really. But that's too close to the previous price action. Let's can we find something else? Can we find something else from the Bitcoin TA land? Find something else perhaps from just a random period in time in the past and just see like one of these, that one. I just clicked on a button. That's 26 minutes long though. It's a bit long to watch. Back when I explained things in extreme detail, there was no excuses for not being able to trade this thing well. None at all. Anyway, that's why that's the advert on my channel. I'm not going to bother doing any more of that. It's a bit mental of me. I've already gone a bit mental on it anyway for today, so that'll do from that mental side of things. Anyway, is the sound lagging the video for anyone else? Ah, gosh, well, maybe people couldn't see it, whatever. 3:15, cool, Dan Ernst, me too. I figured out it was good news to expect to go down like GME. When the good news happens, it does the opposite, lol. Yeah, so often. Yes, indeed. So, we've got somebody in here called Shikar. Where are you, buddy? Where are you? What are you chatting about here? That's cool. That's the thing. Marmar's in there chatting to Kim Robbins. It's been there since 1893, and they still serve steak the same way. Wow, that's cool. Wonder what they used to eat steak like back in 1893. One way to find out. Good to see you in the chat there, Sarah, as well, with your funny YouTube channel. Amber, I'm looking him up now. Never heard of him. Who are you talking about? He just sent me a message. That's quite exciting. Who is it? Do people here know who Brendan Boot on Instagram? He did the Lego figures for Rocky and I. Brendan Boot. Yes, it's so good. I didn't actually use the Lego figure thing though on my own channel. Should have done, but I thought it would look like. I didn't. You did that. That was cool. Just thought maybe it'd be fun to have it be just sort of only on Jamie's. So nobody's seen the one of me, man. They don't know about it, but they know your one. I would. Idle hands don't do well for me. Dan Ernst, what he's talking about there. I looked up again for the accurate. It says net cash position of 270 million after repayment of bank debt and reached a preliminary agreement on merger and doing the due diligence. Seems
bullish. I wonder what you're talking about there. That's interesting. And there's Shakar and they're chatting with KT. What? I'm upstate New York. This fucking wet as F. Everything is moist. I can feel it in my hair. That's a pretty cool name that you've got there. Shakar Baijarachara. Baijarachara. Is that it? Shakar Baijarachara? Is that right? Anyway, that's a cool name. Right, so what we're going to look at. So somebody asked me to take a look at AHT earlier on. I've been wanting to take a look at it myself, but I didn't want to look at it in the opening range time because this is what's going on. We know that the CEO of the company, as was shared in the the Discord news page, that we know the CEO of the company wow, hanging in by the skin of her teeth there in terms of that move, has just bought 7,500 shares of it himself at this price point. So that's good to see that those guys getting their discounts. He bought them on the 16th of August, by the way. So we bought them in at around about 13 or so. Now, the earnings call as well, that happened back over here on the 29th, on the 30th of July. In fact, they were saying that they were looking like they were coming in. It's Nepali, your name. That's cool. I was a bit wrong. Well, close, yeah. They were talking about the earnings back there on the 30th of July, saying that it looked like they were going to be better. July outperforming June as ever. It's funny that they said that it looks like it on the second last day of the month. They obviously knew what it was. It was obviously going to happen. So they've outperformed those earnings, so that's good, but then we dropped down. They also, a couple of interesting things came out of that earnings call thing with AHT, where they're pointing out that in terms of the cash in bank, the cash on hand that they have in the bank is values each share at $19, I think. Is that right? And they were talking about this on the earnings call when they were priced at $30, yes, or $16. So this was where they did the earnings at, and they're saying, even now we're underpriced, you know? The CEO himself waited for the prices to drop down until $13, though, before he bought them. Having said that then, and put out the earnings then, he waited until this point here to buy them. Right here, actually right at where my idea for a trade setup thing was at. That's when the CEO bought his shares, and he sat in that room with everybody else on the 30th of July and said that the shares are, have got an intrinsic value at least of $19 per share at the current levels, and that the earnings are about to could potentially skyrocket, relatively speaking. A couple of other interesting things that came out of that earnings call were just about how radically well the company did during this period of time in terms of cutting costs, sending a lot of credit over to a chap called Remington for doing that, by the way, in that earnings call. I looked into that. Anyway, so yeah, we're still looking for this thing to try and get its turnaround. Are you and I and Rob, the CEO of the company, all going to be correct at this at the same time? Or are we all going to be wrong at this at the same time? And we're still looking as well on this one to see if we can get around that South Africa, that Cape, whatever they call it, down there at the south of the old Africas there. So can we do that? Can we get going? Can we get going? Ideally, of course, a lot quicker, and than this would suggest. The range, by the way, is like $19 down to $14. So you got like a $5 range there if we were to go for a breakout. So the breakout point would happen at around about $14, taking us up to the $19 area, which is where that pivot is on the right, on the orange. The orange line. Looking at this orange line here and saying that pivoting past that point is when you start to target up towards the gap on the charts, the gap that comes in here as well, showing where this 200 simple is currently in at around about $30, and that's 200 simple. That white dotted line has been crossed by that 50 simple, the blue dotted line there. And we know that these things like to give it another like a retest after the cross, especially when you've got a setup like this, generally speaking, overall. So this one looks pretty good for me. Me, you, and Rob are not wrong, says Bad Mama Jama. It's good to see you, man. Yeah. I'm hoping not. Yeah, man. So can we see that happen? Can we see that happen? And can we see it happen, more or less now? So the lows so far have been down as low as 12.20. Now, I talk about things from a point of view of like,
needing to get a message across to people, and so often the message that gets across to people kind of ultimately makes it seem like that you'd have stopped out bang on that price point there, you know, because I was saying, oh, I don't want to see it going lower than 12.20. Well, it didn't go lower than 12.20, right? It didn't. It could. It's more of a theoretical stop loss on that one, because I'm not a financial advisor, and the last thing that I would be doing for anybody is telling them exactly where to put in their trades. Even with that joke that we just ran through the Bitcoin one, I'm not telling people exact numbers on anything ever, because there's always a degree of like personal responsibility, which I think is the only way to learn. So that's that. But anyway, I'm still looking in this region with that general concept in mind. Of course I am. So what do we have here? We've seen yours too. Okay, I wonder what that was. I don't know. We've seen yours too. You have. Oh, you've seen my logo, my Lego guy. Oh, that's cool that you saw it. I didn't. That's cool that you saw it. That's really cool. The guy's awesome. It's so awesome that he's doing any sort of Lego stuff. I think it's really cool. You should definitely check him out on Instagram, by the way. Definitely should check him out on Instagram. Hey, I bought my first property today. Yay, blockchain tech. You bought your first property. In the UK, that means real estate when people say they bought property. So I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, if you mean something slightly different over there at their stateside. 1 to 10 is my cut today, says Bam Mama Jama. Yeah, right? So it's like, it's just so close to there. But in many ways, when we're talking about this, that would have been the ideal entry. You know, that would have been the ideal entry, the absolute ideal entry. But we were talking about this the other day and saying, I could go lower there, and I wouldn't want it to go any lower than there. I would much prefer to be buying it at that price. But I wouldn't want it to go any lower than that. And I'm still thinking along those lines, like yourself, you know, like, because this is a downward trend. And there be dragons, you know, there be dragons. Now, but this is a company that doesn't look like it's going to go bust. Looks like it's actually managed itself quite well. And I'm not too sure, but they genuinely themselves didn't seem to be that concerned about a Delta variant. Interesting stuff, by the way, if you're wondering, is the resurgence in price in income for this hotel real estate investment trust has been in no small part to the resurgence of leisure, which means, you know, weekend travel. So you can look at that and imagine that there could be an additional increase when we see certain activities happen. For example, the worst performing, or some of the worst performing hotels that they've had recent times have been in the Washington, D.C. area. It makes a lot of sense, right, when you think about it from a political point of view and the amount of, you know, moving around in terms of corporate that might be happening with regards to hotels. Now, of course, they're still doing okay at the weekends, but the biggest earners that they've had have been southern states. Like 3 of their biggest earners have been in the state of Florida, for example, where you're seeing a lot of leisure travel there as well. So they're looking towards other companies kind of bringing back their staff to work, and then bringing back the corporate travel, corporate meetings, etc. Now, I happen to stay opposite. I don't like doxing myself on the internet, so that sentence isn't going to go any further. Anyway, there is a good corporate element towards the hotel industry which has not seen a resurgence as yet. So we're looking to see if we can get that. Hesitancy comes into play in a way in terms of, or uncertainty, when you see things like New Zealand locking down the entire country, etc., and of course the Delta variant type of thing. Now we're trying to figure things out still. We're always going to be trying to figure things out with that, but it does seem like corporate could be coming back to the hotel scene fairly soon, and that leisure is doing an awful lot to bring up their incomes, right? And we're seeing D Harker dropping a line in there. AHT is a ratio asset to debt ratio in comparison to their competition. It's got a better asset to debt ratio in comparison to the competition. Yeah, it certainly does, right? And it's managed to weather the storm pretty well. And we know that. We can see it. It's writ in large here. Writ in large. Look at the as reported estimate, minus 153. It was 40% better than they thought in terms of the catastrophic losses, because it was catastrophic. Look at that per share, $153 per share. I mean, that's a loss over there. You know, I think TradingView standardizes that out inflates that out after the share loss. It would have been a $15 loss before the share issue, but whatever. Here we can see that there's a loss here, which is tiny. In fact, as well, some of their revenue at the minute is better than it was in 2019 in certain areas and certain sectors across the quarter as well. So that's it's interesting to see, and that they actually are starting to feel extremely positive themselves, and they've been doing so much work with restructuring their debt to get to the point where it should be all right. So that's the AHT section, a bit more than I think I probably intended on doing there. But I'd kicked it down towards the end of the show. I saw the request coming in earlier on. I kicked it down towards the end of the show before looking at it though. We can put in we can take a quick look though at a couple other things. Taboo Tongue, for instance, asked me to take a look at AHT 2 hours ago, and that was me fulfilling that. But then he's come back, and because the guy's a decent guy, donated again and asked me. It said Ross Stores put in a $5 gap ROST. So let's go take a look at ROST. Thanks so much for your patience, by the way, Taboo Tongue. Hope you don't mind there on that one. $5 gap. Well. What have we got? Let's just go down to the 15 minutes. It was at 126. Now it's 120. So that's quite a big move. It's quite a big move. Roughly 5%, but we're not seeing $5. Roughly, it's just under $122, $5, just under 5%, whatever, 4.5%. But we're not seeing an immediate turnaround. So interesting stuff there. It's kind of in this region. Will we see this have an effect longer? I wonder what's going on. So earnings came out. Oh yes, okay, good. Fundamentals again here. Let's just check the earnings. The earnings were $1.39 per share. The estimate was 1. It's 39% better than we thought it would be. So naturally, you would expect to see the stock price drop 5% and put in a $5 gap. That's exactly how this works. I'm always pleased to be able to educate people on the importance of understanding fundamentals. Really pleased to be able to do that. It really helps, to know that when things look so good that obviously the prices would be negative. I mean, that's obvious, right? Because fundamentals, that's how fundamentals work, right? Obviously, like when you see positive earnings, you expect to see drops in the chart, right? I mean, that's how it works, right? Isn't it? No, it's not. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. It's event psychology. This is all this is. This isn't me saying that when the earnings are positive, the prices will go down, and when earnings are negative, the prices will go up, and that there's some sort of inverse correlation. That's not what I'm saying there. I'm saying this is event psychology in this region. It always is. Always is. And it's slightly different to the event psychology that operates around dividends. So over here, you've got a dividend that came out. What was the dividend as it happens? 28-cent dividend. And you've got, at this point here, what you're seeing is that the prices went up. Okay, they went up a bit on the dividend, which is really weird because, not really weird, but this is, again, fundamentals is that there's a dividend. People expect it to be a positive dividend, which means that shares go ex-dividend, which means that there's words and stuff out there. Dividends are considered to be, priced in. Generally speaking, priced in. So the stock came down here to the dividend point and it was priced in. So that's why we saw that I'm being sarcastic here. That's why we saw an increase in the price. No, it doesn't. Is it, again, event psychology? But there's a slight difference in event psychology because, of course, when you get things going, like in the time before when it's announced when it's going to be ex-dividend, blah 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 blah. Anyway, yeah. What do I feel about this? Well, I mean, I would anticipate this going up and fixing this. I would anticipate going up and fixing this. Is what I would do. What did we have here in terms of we pushed down? This is the 15-minute time frame, yeah, so it's kind of bullshit. So let's just look at this from this point of view. Yeah, we haven't taken out market structure in terms of the range on this one, putting in an equal low. We've got big volume there, so it's going to fuck up that one. Yeah, drop down obviously in stochastics. That high that came in, that high came in with hidden bearish divergence on it. If that compared to the previous little high just here, This operates weirdly though with the candles. Yeah. Anyway, that's interesting, right? I'll move on from that one just now. Cool, taboo tongue. Interesting to point that one out to folk. What would I anticipate? Well, I mean, if there's going to be a big old breakaway gap and whatever, then cool. You can look here and see that like we got a big old gap in here. You're going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to go and fill that in right away. Well, of course we dropped down and then filled it in. Overall, do I think it's going to be a proper breakaway? Oh god, I forgot about these scales. This whole time the scales have been wrong. Is it going to be a proper breakaway gap? I don't know. I wouldn't say so. Not in this. Not in these conditions. It doesn't look like it. So that would be my initial interpretation of that one. So anyway, that's that. What did we have here? Neil Martin. 22 minutes ago. Since 22 minutes ago, you've been a member for 2 months. Thanks, mate. Bad Mama Jamma, me, you, and Rob are not wrong. That's cool. Excellent. Sweet. Nice one. So, by the way, big shout out to Mike Fitzpatrick for becoming a $95 patron. That's really, really, really awesome of you, my friend. Really appreciate. And we've made it back to the back to life, back to reality. We've made it back towards the end of the show. Does that work? Does it go whoop whoop? Should work. Didn't work. Doesn't matter. So cool. I feel a bit sad almost, at the end of the Fridays to be leaving yous. Does that make sense? I'm not really leaving. Not going anywhere. And I'll still be in the Discord and chatting that. But I feel a bit, I get a bit of that, right? Get a bit of that. Get towards, we've missed out things. Missed out, forgot things. All right. Right. Don't worry. Yeah. Knackered. I'll miss yous though over the weekend. I always do, but I've got yous in the Discord. I can chat to you. Mwah, beautiful. So we had this drop down here to the 200 simple after the gap up. FU Money was talking about this earlier on today, something that he's very interested in. He wants to know if it breaks up above 77, otherwise he's going to have a nap. Fairly confident about things. This is nice. We've seen a resurgence, a return back down to the cloud. You could say, what's that? Oh, somebody just chucked in a fiver as well. Bad Mama Jamma. Matt about to jump a little. Oh, cool. Okay, let's take a look at that. We've got this big movement up the way here. It's getting a bit of follow through at the minute. That's cool. We're right in there at that region. I don't know. I guess I must have talked about that as being important recently. So that's cool. That's pretty good. Let's go check out Matt. Ooh, right. We dipped outside of this wedge, right, and then we pushed back in, and we dipped outside of it again. So let's just consider this for a second. Have we potentially drawn this in wrongly? That'd be the first question to ask. Have we drawn it in? Did we do it wrongly? Were we just wrong? Body to body, where does that end up? Doesn't look like it's wrong. What if I try and incorporate that on purpose and force the issue? Doesn't seem to be too wrong. Okay, so what if I go onto a different time frame and look at how this lines up? Does that right or wrong? No, we just dipped outside of the range of it there, just like we dipped outside of the top end of it there on the other side. So that's kind of just how we're balanced on this one. And we're in this. It's coming towards the end. Like, actually, you know what? Actually, get rid of it. There we go. Get rid of that. That's better. So low, higher low, lower high, sorry. Oh. Making stupid noises here. Look, folks, look. This signal's very rarely wrong. Background is colored, right? When the background's colored here, what it means is that that they're going to look to the period when this stops being colored. This is a 4-hour time frame when it stops being colored. So the prices might move up to somewhere like here, for example, right? And then the background might disappear. And when that happens, the prices could go anywhere from that point, and then they'll return back to the same level again afterwards. So it could happen anywhere. It could, right? So if the big candle comes up, then that will disappear, and then it'll get filled in. So you often see this sort of thing happening with gaps. So if we got big movement up, and it opened up like that, on Monday, then it would probably come back down and retest that area. What we want to see happening here is some sort of organic movement towards the top side that doesn't necessarily, end this period, so that when we do come back to it, that we're not actually, going into negative territory. This always happens. That doesn't always happen. But if the ones that we've looked at over the past, we've seen it happen almost every single time. The failure of this pattern, of this signal, more often comes in the fact that you will sometimes see it happen immediately afterwards. So the next candle or 2 candles later, etc. And then you don't get to take advantage of it, or there's not enough of a risk to reward opportunity at where the price has moved away. So if this area goes to be not shaded in the background, maybe the prices are just still somehow close enough that it's not enough of a risk to reward with you to really kind of want to trade that, etc. But then sometimes you see other ones like the GameStop epic, all the way up towards $300, and it had a shaded area in the background, and then we dropped back down. It went to 177.77, and that was kind of predictable in the future because of the background effect on this one. So just look out for this, right? I'm just giving you that warning now. You can see it's not on the 1 hour time frame. You can see that it's not on the 24-hour time frame. I said that so quickly. It is on the 24-hour time frame. Yeah, I regretted saying that halfway through that sentence. So this is this period just here. So what's another typical thing from this? Well, another typical thing from this would be that it would operate like a wedge, for example, and that we would see the prices then go on up towards, like, say, this region here, and that would be going up towards 321, and then we go up to a target 491 here. We then don't have a gap, or we don't have a background shaded area, and then we come back in and retest the breakout, just like Jamie says in his video about retesting breakouts. I mean, that's kind of fairly typical price action. Is that what we're seeing kind of having happened over here on AMAT? Is that what I was saying at the time has kind of happened? It's essentially it, but it's not got the white shaded background. In terms of this one, by the way, white shaded background here, what happened next? Two days later, bang on. Example of it right there. Tick, well done. Good job. Yet again, another example. Over here, did it work? It's useless. Over here, did it work? Went down to there. Prices went up. They came back down, guaranteed. So, it would have been hard to have obviously timed your entry for that move, but let's just say you got it anywhere roughly there. You would have got 4% off the table just for free, So that's pretty consistent. It's the only thing that I've ever seen that's anything like that in trading ever, and it's anything that's worth watching, looking for, whatever. It's all good. Typically at this point when I'm talking about this sort of thing, I get people saying to me, how do I get access to your indicator? I don't see it on TradingView, etc. You can get it from gumroad.com/rockyoutcrop, and honestly, you don't have to put any money in the box there for that one. It's free if you want it for free. It's totally fine. It's only for people who have money to give money in places that's better to give money. So, you'd have a choice of do I spend money on this other thing frivolously that I don't really care about just to try and make me feel better in this consumerist, materialistic world that we live in, and I'll buy that crap off of Amazon, it'll get delivered today or tomorrow, and that'll make me feel better? Or do I stick a $5 in that box and give it to somebody who's genuinely trying to help do some good in the world? And it's up to you, if you want, but we all spend money all the time, and I'm not asking for your money. I'm telling you, you spend your money on what will make you feel better. That's what I'm saying. And that put 0 in that box if you want, no problem, right? So anyway, so still there's the suffering with this thing, right? So I'm not going to need to do the analysis live on this constantly, right? Actually, don't need to. I don't need to. We already know the score on this. We already know the score on that. In fact, what time is it? It's 3:20. Let's just check in and see how the day started then with GME, because we were talking about wanting to do this after an hour. I think maybe I mentioned it. Maybe I didn't. I'm not too sure. Where are we on it? 153.66. We're not above 155. We did push up to 157. We're not above 155 right now. Lows, higher lows. Right, yeah, so we're supposed to be talking about how we came down to this section. I forgot about doing all that crap. Came down here, low. That low is lower than the previous low. Is there as well. Turnaround on that there. By the way, nice job quitting smoking, Rocky. Sorry I was out of fivers. Wolfric Doomslayer. That's really kind of you, man. It's really generous. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I really do appreciate it. Really, really do. Thank you so much, man. Really fantastic. And don't congratulate me on anything right yet. Right? Don't congratulate me on anything right now. It's not. Thank you. Nice job quitting smoking. Yeah, that's the first step. But the bit where you deserve the congratulations, I suppose, is when you've done it for a while. Hey, when you've done it for a while. I've not done it for a while yet. So let me just do it for a while. And then come back and give me the congratulations or whatever, and then I'll try and pay it forward and help somebody else with their own smoking journey afterwards. Right. So the stochastics have turned around here on the GME pricing, while the other things are still suffering from that sort of downward action, and we're hanging out in the golden pocket zone here at 153, with the top end of that being at around about 154. And we're looking to try and push up above 155 because that's going to take out this little structural area for us here and give us the chance to actually start to move up the way. Otherwise, we're in this sort of slight malaise here. One of the reasons why we're looking at this golden pocket for it to be the turnaround area, or indeed the 786 as we discussed earlier on the show, is because with regards to a different chart, is because this is the low that we had down here in the 5th of August. This is the high that we had over here in the 16th of August, and that by putting in anywhere above this region, anywhere above 145, essentially, you're putting in a higher low, which is the start that you need to do to be turning the trend around. Now, we kind of already thought that we started doing that with this high, low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then the potential for a higher low to be coming in that doesn't take out 155. So we spoke about that at great length, and it actually has ended up happening. And you can see it's also the case over here on the 4-hour time frame that we took out the sort of the 155 area, but there's no real pivot there at 155, but instead you're looking at 150 as being the pivot in terms of this time frame, and it's just a low, a high, a higher low. That's really generous, but whatever. A high, that's real. A higher low, that seems more realistic. A higher high, little bit bearish divergent maybe. No, it wasn't. Looked a bit shy there, though. It's a little bit kind of weak, but whatever. And then pulled back down, and we're at that 150 area. 169.69, finish off my day catalyst, lol. Bad Mama Jamma, D. Harker and I were joking about catalysts. I've said various things recently, like price is the main driver of price, etc., and stuff like that. Bad Mama Jamma coming back by saying that 169.69 will be the catalyst. That's when MOAS starts, is when the price of GME hits 169.69. There's a chart I had somewhere, or is it just, no, I deleted it, where I was looking at this and talking about how that could have been like the 170 target would have been where we'd have been finding a pullback, where we could have found a pullback from. 169.81 is pretty much close enough. We didn't take out that 170 area. We've come back down to 150 ever since. You can see that if you were shorting this thing, going like, come on, and then sure, there's a lower high, brilliant, come on, and pushing down, sure, there's a lower high, that's brilliant. Right, if you're looking at it that way yourself, then you're kind of starting to see that it's not really satisfying. It's not really pushing down that way. Seeing that there's no increase in volume, the people aren't relinquishing their positions. You can see that they did up here at these price points, like 217, etc. They did. They didn't do it quite so much down here. And it's diminished throughout this entire period. So we're still waiting to see, but still waiting to see. We know how we came down to this point. We know how we came down to this point, which is that we came down with these two lows. That's the kind of the thing. We came down with those two lows, and those two lows are bullishly divergent. Here's your high, here's your low, here's your next high. This next high that came in didn't do the swing failure that we talked about. It's come in here, and it's also not come anywhere near down as low as before. So we have this kind of overall upward aspect to this thing. As we get rejected from the neutral line on the first time, turnarounds from here would be totally typical and fantastic. Any pushing down to take out any of these other lows would almost certainly be very negative, but then again, form a wedge on the charts and give us that next tick of divergence. If you want to play this more safely, you can wait until you see the stochastics cross over and actually get a bit of a movement away. Actually move away from the moving average, etc. Like you get to see, like sometimes you see this sort of like decision making process going on, and sometimes you see it just like here when it moves away. That's what you're looking for. So you could do that if you wanted to, for example, whatever. So that sort of thing. Now, we're also looking to see if we can get the positive to cross over the negative here on the DMI. This is the 4-hour time frame. It is possible to do it. Obviously, the negative price action so far today doesn't make that amazing, but you can see that there's been a contraction, if anything, so far. So that's not bad. There's a little green candle, in fact, you can hardly see it, little green candle as well overall for the day, so far, despite the fact that it's all wick. It's got that long upper wick, though, if you want to talk about it like that. It shows you that there's this appetite for it. There's no appetite for pushing it down past those areas. So as it stands as yet. Why is that? Well, it's because we're above 150. That's the simple conclusion on that front. AMC over here, then, I suppose, same sort of thing. We were planning on doing the same sort of technical analysis. We're at 32.69. All right, cool. Is that what I talked about? If I bring the drawings back on, does it line up? Yeah, cool. So we were saying how it's not really about this orange line so much. It's more about, like, can we stay above that zone? The orange line is like a decent sort of pivot in terms of this overall zone towards the downside, and it will be as soon as we sort of start taking it out up the way, but we're looking for that higher low, and we're happy enough. We could even see it go down as low as 31 in terms of the 786. If we see it go down as below 30 and close below 30, that sucks. Major chocolate salty balls. But if we do go down towards that zone, we'll be doing a test of the 200 simple period moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and that's kind of fair enough to see that happen. We're still hoping to see something like this kind of happen with regards to the pricing, something like this to happen for us to get up and around this, so we're waiting for that to happen. It's not happened yet, so where are we going to get to see it happen? Well, 15-minute time frame, are we seeing anything start to show up for us in terms of the divergences? Bullish divergence on the stochastics, bullish divergence on the MACD, bullish divergence on the accumulation distribution. Yep. By the way, did you notice there, this was stretched out horizontally. The easiest way for me to see if there was divergence would have been to change the y-axis, but I couldn't be bothered. So knowing how this works, I scrolled out and it condensed these things, and it made it more visually obvious to me to see that that was bullishly divergent compared to the long stretch like that. Just an interesting little sort of navigation use case, example. It's like the lazy way of achieving what you was looking to achieve, quicker and better, and therefore becomes a smart way of doing it, even though it's confusing to the viewer watching the show. Like, why is he zooming out loads? Well, I'm zooming out just to see the peak, just to see the troughs there more clearly. That's what I was doing. So I thought I'd explain myself on that one. 50, yeah, yeah. So we got that divergence. Oh, the RSI, has that got the divergence? Yeah, it has as well. So that's cool. And yeah, so we're pretty set. So so that's where we are at the minute. Retaking 33 is on our right way to finish off the week. It's not fantastic. AMC has been shit for ages now in terms of the trend. But what we're looking for is a higher low so that we can turn things around. GME, right? GME. It's been shit for ages now in terms of the trend, but we're looking for is a higher low to be able to turn things around. This is what we're looking for. If we don't get one, then of course, it's kind of like this. Here's a high. We came down. Did we get a higher low? We're looking at that 165. They didn't. We ended up pushing down to 145. If we do the same thing overall here, then we're talking 135. That's 130, 135 would be where you're looking to on that. If we can't actually continue on up the way. So that's why we're looking for a higher low. And then as soon as we get a higher high, then we're laughing. And it's like a higher high. Not a high, not a high which is higher than a low or a lower high, but a higher high. A high followed by a higher high. Fuck. Actually, I intended on talking about crypto today. Did you remember that at the start of the show? We had like Cachito Valador. This is the previous one. Cachito Valador saying, I've just got into crypto and stuff like that. We had Katie saying, I should really look at crypto so I don't miss out. My apologies to you, Cachito. My apologies to you, Katie. My apologies to you too, Marmar. I have spent very little time looking at cryptocurrency in today's episode, even though we were going to be doing that over the weekend. Here's some stars of the show recently. I am going to tune out soon, though. You got Luna, USDT. Now, there's also a couple of requests that came in that I didn't actually look back at overall, which I wish I had have done. In fact, as well, one of them came in was like CRT or something. I can remember looking at it. It was like CRT, like $CRT or something like that. Was that what it was? CRT USDT. If they put $sign in front of it, I can't remember. Anyway, I missed a couple of them. Luna, look at it up there. It came all the way up towards 30. In fact, it pushed up to 33, back down to 30 again at the minute. Wow. This is a coin which is like outperforming the market completely. If you remember back then when I was saying, is it possible that we're looking at a little bit of a tiny little alt season? I've talked about this in such detail. It's like, you know, Gulliver's Travels when he's trying to explain something to people. Such a massive amount of detail I've talked about this stuff in recently. Just jump up to the 4-hour time frame. Fantastic to be up into this region, right? Fantastic. If we did come back in the 24-hour time frame for a retest, I'm still looking to where this box used to be, and that would be a retest of 22 if we did see a big cascadey downwards move. If we were looking up the way though and saying like, let's just take the moving average, where is the moving average, the Fibonacci, is that it? Yep, there it is, and pop that up the way. And where does it line up? It lines up at the top end of that box. That's what I'm talking about. If we did push back down the way, didn't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't tell you. Here we are, Ethereum USDT. Oh, wow. Here's a chart I've not looked at in a while. Hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. It's been so long since I've seen you. My friend, my pitchfork. Fuck, so long since I've seen this pitchfork friend. Why have I not opened up this chart in ages? By the way, the one thing that's missing from my explanation of why I got different charts up, and I used to talk about all the time when people never ask me why I do different charts, is that you get to do different drawings. I can do a whole bunch of drawings on this one and then have a different chart over here, and I don't have the same drawings on it. That was the internet's not going quick enough to load up the candles to show you that that's the case. Anyway, got different drawings on the other chart there. And here's this old pitchfork that I had. Hey, pitchfork, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Oh, look. Oh, hey, old explanation of risk to reward and margin. Ah, old education. Why is this even still on the charts, though? I was sure I deleted that. Ah, hello. Some people ask, like, are pitchforks any good? Woo! Whip-boo! You tell me that July 2021, a pitchfork that was drawn in March 2020. I drew this pitchfork back in a year ago. That's right, friends. A year ago. A year ago, I drew that pitchfork in. And then it comes in and it hits off that line before it goes up to being this. Hits off that line there at 1685 before going up to 100% increase in price. Not bad. Didn't do it. Oh, there's Drew's Tech. Drew's Tech, man. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, Drew. To the other Drew that I was talking to yesterday, and as well today, earlier on at the start of the show, when I said to you, Drew, I know another Drew who's a really great guy. This is this Drew right here. Drew meet Drew. Great. Thank you so much, Drew, man. It's fantastic to see you. So great to see you. If we ever go into all-time highs on Bitcoin again, I'll bring up my Binance channel trading account show, and we can start doing stuff on that again, shall we? I mean, maybe we should have done already. Drew, man, I don't mean to to not be providing content for, you know, yourself and every other one of the 2,000 people that brought me from 0 to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, you know, with the crypto content recently. Sorry, I don't mean to be leaving you out in the cold at all, and there's a lot of stuff then that's missing from it, like, you know, because there's just a few months ago that we were doing this chat with the channel account and trying to put stuff into it and grow it and everything else, and you know, we'll do that again soon. I think there's a place in the show for that, and I know as well there's other people out there, the likes of, you know, Marmar, etc., that would really like to see that type of thing during the show without doing any too detailed TA, all that sort of stuff on it, or doing any sort of financial, you know, collusion or financial advice or pushing my own book or any of that sort of stuff. The way that it worked was that what we would do is we would look at a variety of crypto coins. Then from that, people in the audience could then, you know, suggest what we put our money into, and they were able to donate directly to a Binance trading account rather than sort of donating to me through Super Chats or PayPal or to my crypto accounts. You could donate to the channel show for the thing that you like. So say you wanted me to take a look at Cosmos, like the guy just up there above asked for. Who was it that asked for it? As I saw it in the back of my eyes, somebody there said, Michelle Frank, sorry, said, Cosmos Atom, please, thanks. Then what it would have been would be like, well, donate me some Atom into the account there. If you think it's going well and you're trading this thing towards the top side and it's not got exorbitant trading fees for sending or whatever, then send me some and we'll take a look at it. Obviously I've not looked at this in a wee while, so anyway, send me some and we'll take a look at it, is what would be my attitude. And that's something that we can do again. And I think that's the sort of thing that a lot of people would find fun. Because if you believe in a coin, you want me to do TA on it, and you want me to hodl it, because I'll hodl it. I'll do the TA. I've not sold anything in my channel account. It's not like I was in there trading that thing. It was your decision, guys, and we traded it, and we're going to keep hold of it and hodl it and stuff. Anyway, we're right at the 618. This is a clear profit taking target for people. You know, the fact is as well that we've not done a decent enough pullback this entire time. I mean, where are you going to measure it from as well? Do you want to take it from that low up to the high? Well, you can, and then you're looking down towards where the 50 simple is at that 236. This is exactly the same as the TA that we're doing on Luna there a second ago. Was that right? In terms of the resurgence up the way. Of course, this isn't in all-time high territories, but what you're looking to too. Over here, you can see that it's a little bit higher. It comes in at 1650 or so if you're looking at a 236, or 1625 if you're measuring it from the last major pivot in the market. It's at 1625 from that low, and it's at 1675, sorry, at the next low. But either way, you're looking at sub $17 prices when we're here at $20, and obviously that means, or $19 right now, but close enough, and that means that you're looking at a sort of 10% drop down in the prices. So you'd be looking out for that, right? We would be more than 10%. You'd be looking out for that. So just so you know, because if we do go beyond that zone, then things get a little very, very tasty. I wouldn't personally be buying it if I saw the prices even on a 4-hour basis closing below $16. I wouldn't buy this thing until it hit $13.50. But, you know, you do you. This is looking pretty good though. It's obviously had a really, really strong resurgence, but this is just only the 618 that we've got to. This is certainly not doing what Luna was doing. Why is this significant? Why is this sort of thing? Why is this sort of thing significant? You know, why is this sort of thing significant? Have you got any sort of ideas, like, you know, like why? Because there's a good reason for it. Give me my dates, you fucker. Right here. Here, right? Look at this. This is 2017, 2018 bull market highs, $20,000. This might be the first time you ever heard about crypto. Down to these lows. What happened? We came up to the 618. What happened? What happened? High, December. Low, December. High, December. It all happened quite quickly. All right, but when we came up to the 618. There was a nice sort of W here that didn't play out in the end. That came into the 618 pocket, into that golden pocket before. And thinking, thank you so much, by the way, again to Drew's Tech for turning up. It's always good to see old friends. Hope you're doing well, man. Really do. So when you're looking at these things and you're saying, so what's the significance of this, Rocky? Why are you talking about that? It's like, well, we just had a massive major high in the market, didn't we? And then we had the prices dropping down from that major high. Now, it took a lot longer, May to June to August, as opposed to just a few days. But you can see, though, that is a very similar current situation in terms of, like, we had highs, lows, the highs. This is a significant area. So if we did pull back the way and then went on, what could happen? Well, you know, we could easily go down. So I wouldn't be buying it till $13 and so on and so forth, right? Maybe even 11, you know. But at the minute we're at 6. Now, if we do go up the way, then that's different, isn't it? It's different. It is different. Let's show you how that's different here, right? Show you how that's different. Here's the SPY, it's S&P 500. It's a index, a tracker, if you like, of the top. I mean, the word index gets used so strangely to me over time. Anyway, what happened here is that we had a high that came down to this low, that moved up to the golden pocket region, and then pulled back a couple of times, and then went on up the way. And from the lows to the high, we didn't take out the 236 Fibonacci retracement point. So for me currently, looking at anything which is doing something like this, which is 7 or 8 out of 10 of all cryptocurrencies at the minute, probably, or more, I'm asking questions about where can we get to? Where can we get to in terms of, is this Atomera Incorporated? No, sorry, Atom USDT, sorry. Where we can get to with regards to this 618, you know, and if we did pull back, where would it be going to? This is obviously the numbers are different to the SPY, it's a different thing and everything else, but the concept of buying and selling risk is very much the same. If we take out that 236, then I wouldn't be buying it until $13 or $11. Does that make sense to you? It's very clear to me. If we were to continue to go up towards the top side, what could we be looking to? Well, short-term targets. I mean, how greedy do you want to be? I could easily look up to $22. Do you want more than 10%? You want me to give you more than 10% on your trading? Well, how can I justify giving you more than 10%? How can I justify giving you more than 10%? We'll be at the 1618 already between these 2 points just here. Bang on it. Bang on it. How much have I shown that today? How much have I shown that? How much have I educated people about that? Right, anyway, look, we're done here. We're done here. We are done. Right, we're done here. We're done. I'm going back to full screen, going to do my credits and that. How long is this? It's after 4. It's too long. The show's gone on for too long today. This happens when I kind of get interrupted because I kind of reset psychologically, and my time in my head is kind of gone from the sort of the moment I hit that button. So I really don't want to be spending too long doing stuff, but it was nice to at least talk about cryptocurrencies a wee while. Things that I'll say, I suppose, about cryptocurrencies before kind of signing off for the weekend is that I've always looked at this concept during weekends. What happens to crypto during weekends? And one of the things that I've always talked about with regards to this, 5 years or whatever, weekend relief. That's what I call it. Call it weekend relief. So if you are trading in the weekend, be aware that the conditions will change come the start of the week so often, and be as well aware that if you're in trend and price action that you often see come to the you often see if that there is Monday to Friday, that price action, that then it gets to the weekend, and you sometimes then see that the price action gets some relief. Now, what happens so often then, of course, is that you open up the start of the week thinking that things have changed due to the price action that happened over the weekend. But it is not the weekend. It is, of course, the weekend relief. Look out for that. It's very clear when you look at charts like the Bitcoin dominance chart that that's kind of the case. Or not the Bitcoin dominance chart, the Bitcoin CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange chart, when it's got its little gaps and stuff on there for you to be aware of. One thing, I suppose, as well, that I will sign off with crypto, since Drew's text here, and it's worth pointing out for you, buddy, is, of course, if I just hide, and everybody else that's interested in crypto, and I don't mean to overlook anybody that's been around looking at crypto with me for a long time as well. I'm just pointing this out since I know that there's at least one person here who'd maybe want to know this, is that there's this gap on the CME chart in there between 32 and 34 grand. Look out for that, especially given the alignment of where we are overall right now, right here in crypto land. So, space, the final frontier. Captain's log, star date 2008-2021. We've been traveling throughout the trading galaxy for some time. Supplies of patience for some people are beginning to run low, but because we're entering the weekend, we anticipate some fun times trading in crypto and perhaps a bit of relaxation and catching up on lost sleep. Perhaps even catching up on lost meals as well, lost food items. Lost food items. Whoop. Right, great, nice one. Much love to everybody for tuning in. I'm going to roll these credits. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, by the way, for Wolfric Doomslayer gets an extra special shout out, of course, in today's one for having chucked in that big $49.99. I really do appreciate it. You said, of course, that you ran out of fivers. Ha! How annoying. I hate it when that happens. Thank you so much for that as well. And what? And you chucked in you donated. Drew's Tech donated $20 as well and said, "Hey Rocky," and I missed that. And then you came back and did a super chat afterwards to tell me with $10 as well, just because you're such a great guy. Thank you so much, man. That's really, 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 really awesome of you. Much love, much, much, much love to you. So quick reverse roll calls and all that, and I'm going to go on and eat because I'm hungry. I'm hungry now. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. There's Harriet in there. Cheers, Rocky. Speak later. RE logo things. Thank you so much, Harriet. Sent Harriet a message last night saying, "I hope you're well. I hope you're well." After almost every other single female in my life that I speak to on a regular basis has almost completely and absolutely fallen out with me to the point that it's extremely distressing. So I was just thinking, fuck, she's like the last one on the list. Better send her a message to see she's all right. She was fine. Thanks so much, donors. Drew's Tech and Taboo Tongue. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then all you super chatters out there, making sure I can see your messages pop up in live chat. Guitar Outside, Lepton Inc., Daniel Assange, Bad Mama Jamma, Wolfric Doomslayer, Big Whoopsie, and Drew's Tech. We also had a new member, Neil. Thank you so much. Was that what that says? I'm going to have to let that come up again so I can see it as well. Oh, Eric Lang just joined the Discord level and the Patreon as well. That's quality. Thank you so much. Neil Martin, yes, became a member. Yes, it's true. Fantastic. Good stuff. Brilliant. Fantastic. Oh no, Rocky Outcrop. Haha, hope you're all right. Yeah, I'm all right. It's just that they think that I'm a cunt. Well, okay, cool. So, coming through at the end of the show, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Much love to you all. Look at those fun AMC GME coins in there. I'm going to try and do some of the things. One of the things I'll try and do over the weekend is update this coin jar to a much more enjoyable one where the wee things move around and I've got different logos. And then I'm going to also reintroduce the old crypto donations thing. If you don't know, I take crypto donations. Of course, Drew's Tech and the like does know that. And I've also just upgraded my account on OneUp so I can get all my access to the old cryptos and all that rest of that good stuff as well. So I'll be doing that again soon, and that'll be cool to have the wee fuckers showing up in here in a nice looking format, hopefully. So that'll be good. Right, have a lovely evening, Rocky Outcrop. I DM'd you on Discord with a link you should read. Woo! Okay, wonder what it's about. That's one. I ain't going nowhere, Rocky Outcrop. Heart, Katie Babes. Yeah, I think we're turning things around in terms of my whole sort of, C-word status. Hopefully not doing too bad on that front over the next wee while, but it is genuinely important to me. Not too sure if everybody realizes that, it's important to me. Right, much love. Catch you later. Oh, I'm going to roll my intros because that's always fun.